Well, this is certainly different. Not used to being on this side of the camera at all. Well, this will be interesting because I'm not used to being on this side of the camera at all. Usually I'm on that side taking photos or videos of stuff. But that's going to change, I guess, moving forward. I guess to start off, my name is Brady Sindelir. I am a photographer, videographer based out of River Falls, Wisconsin. Most of my stuff, if you see my page at all, if you haven't, go check it out right now. Go give it a follow. Most of my stuff that I've been putting out is sports-related photo stuff. Something hasn't been, no, I don't want to say it's not been going right, but I just feel like there's still room for growth for what I can do as a side hustle with this sort of stuff. One of my things I've been thinking about a lot is, what new directions could I possibly go with this, and one of the things I thought about was like, well, how do I get a professional job shooting for, a bigger college or a bigger sports team like, around here, that'd be like the Minnesota Vikings, Timberwolves, Packers, Twins, which they suck, so I would still shoot for them. I'm a big Twins fan. However, we need the owners to figure their crap out. Side rant over. But stuff like that, thinking about like, because I was an athlete here at River Falls for 5 years on the track team. I was a captain for 3 years. Was a 9-time conference qualifier. And then in 2023, I scored points in the shot put at our conference meet, and I was the first guy to do that in at least 15 years. Might be since like the 80s. We're not really sure. We couldn't find the point scored from like 2012 or whatever. We had a couple guys that maybe had a chance, but we didn't know for sure. But, I'm from the area. I was an athlete here for forever. I'm really familiar with the school and the programs that we have going on. And I love helping out there now, even to this day. But, just trying to look for more opportunities to get my own brand and my work out there. And, I think the thing with the sports world is right now is that I don't want to say it's oversaturated, because I think there's always room for people to be. But I feel like it's ultra competitive, and it's not that I'm not competitive, but if you're not in those high seat roles, like shooting for those pro teams, or if you're not like your school's SID running all of the sports information stuff, so that'd be like your photos, every game day recap, every pregame report, stats, basically all those things. Plus, I'm sure there's so much more that I don't even know about. But then like sending all those things to the schools you're competing against, and getting that all uploaded to the website, and just tracking every single sports team. Like if you're not in those roles, at a college level and the pro, like obviously you'd be like just like the team photographer or whatever. If you're not in those roles, I'm not saying you can't make money from it, but it's definitely a lot harder to make a substantial amount of money from it. Or if you were like a dedicated like wedding person and you only shot wedding photo or video, you definitely could get away with doing that. That's just not really my forte, I guess. Like I have shot weddings in the past, and I do have a couple booked for the future, and I'm looking forward and excited to do those, but it's just not really my specialty, and I know that, and I'm not afraid to admit that. But I know like I've developed my skills for that. And it's just, as a sports guy, like I'm so invested in my knowledge is so much more on like sports photography, like where I gotta be for whatever type of games, or like the type of edit I can do for each sport, whatever, outdoor versus indoor, stuff. And like there are differences between them. Obviously, just because your settings will be different for a lot of that stuff, but I've definitely felt like my portrait stuff has developed a lot recently. I was shot a couple shoot for a couple of people I knew, and I'd done a couple like private shoots like that before, but like this was like one of my first main ones, and it went super good, and I was really happy with the edit I got on it. And then I shot an engagement shoot a couple weeks ago. Different conditions. The first shoot was more like cloudy, and the second one was more open, sunny. There was water. It was really beautiful. Fall colors were popping. So basically, use the same edit, but change it up to make it fit the environment we were in. Looping back, I'm seeing progress with my portrait stuff, and you can make money doing that if that is your only gig, like if that's your main bread and butter thing. But I guess just for me, that's just not where I feel called to be. So I'm again looping all the way back now. I'm thinking like, how can I Brady Sindelir, make something more of what I've been doing and connect it to something I know a lot about, It's something that I know I can do every day for my own self in my own business to make more money, and then to help others make money in their businesses. So I guess the long story short here is that I'm gonna have to start making a lot more content for me and my brand to get my name and brand out there and tell my story so I can help other people kind of do the same thing. Essentially boils it down to, yes, I still want to do some of the side stuff, like some of these sporting events, and people I know I want to help out with their portraits and family photos, whatever those things happen to be. I still want to do those like on the side every once in a while. Like I still enjoy it, and that's the thing for like sports is like I just really enjoy watching the games. Like obviously I'm there to shoot the games, to cover what's going on, but a lot of it too is for me is like just being around the atmosphere of sports and the athletes and just having a competitive background. I love seeing that people in that themselves, and I like to be part of that and help people capture those moments. But that for me is more of a fun thing. Like I'd be okay doing that stuff for fun if I had income on the side doing bigger projects. You know what I mean? So basically, what I think is going to start happening is I think I'm going to start doing more B2B work, meaning like I think in my brain now this is going to be like a brain dump here, because I don't really know. I mean, I know like some stuff about business, but I'm trying to figure out like the correct terminology for what I would label this business. So like overall, I just kind of have it set as like a creative agency because I think I can do, like I've done logo work for companies before already, little one-off projects like making business cards or graphics or whatever for their social media. I've done that. Video work, I've done that for companies. And that's something I do right now. I have a full-time job. I am basically the content producer. Like I take all like the in-house photos, videos and stuff. I produce our podcast and then I repurpose all that for social media. I'm not necessarily the one that posts it on social media with all the captions and stuff. For the videos on the YouTube, I am fully in charge of that. But always we have this other lovely lady, Maria. She's the one that kind of handles like the Instagram and Facebook and getting the stuff out there, or like the photos, putting those like infographics that she has in Canva already pre-made or whatever, and putting those out on the social media. But she lives in Mexico, so she's a VA, virtual assistant, and so she's been working there for like a year and a half, and she has not really been able to get some of this higher quality stuff out just because she's not here to get it done. I know fault of her own, but so our tandem actually works really well because I'm here in person, boots on the ground. You can go to the houses that we're buying or whatever. They do real estate. I should preface it, real estate business. So I'm here to do that boots on the ground stuff, getting the content. Maybe it's one of our agents out and about talking about a house. Maybe it's actually one of our owners going through a house, or doing we did this one video which was really fun, where the house actually was local to me. They're from Minnesota. The business is based in Minnesota, but they've actually bought a house just a couple miles up the road from here. And I went to this house and I just took my phone and did like a little walkthrough, kind of showing everything that was going on. And then back at the office, we built like a little studio downstairs. We have this green screen set up, and I overlaid James, one of the owners, kind of talking, almost like a weather boy. He's standing there pointing at stuff in the video that I had taken, talking about like what to look for when you're buying a house and what he thinks needs to get done to that house to make it sellable. Because a lot of stuff we do is like we'll buy and flip or like remodel it and put it back on the market for a profit, stuff like that. It's stuff that I'm doing now at my full-time job that I know I can apply to myself, but then also help other companies out on the side. So like I have had my hands in kind of a little bit of everything. So I feel like from an admin role, I should be okay because I kind of know kind of what goes on with each little aspect of everything. But I don't think I really want to be the one that does everything. I think I would be more like the top of the food chain, I guess, but like the advisory admin type stuff. Like, all right, like finding the companies that I want to go pitch and try to sign up for a retainer. Like I can do that stuff. But even that, my big picture, someday I want to have a salesperson that just does that for me, right? And have to figure out my lead system, inbound and outbound type of stuff. And this is all stuff I want to do like early 2026. But so my main thing I want to do right now is start branding myself better on social media and Instagram. And this video is going to be a YouTube video. I already know that. And maybe someday it'll find its way onto like my Instagram at Sindelir Media on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. But This is going to soft launch on YouTube just because it's a little bit more private. It's social media, so nothing's private. But my YouTube following is definitely a lot smaller, and there might be some very small overlap between my Instagram followers and my YouTube. If someone dug really deep, they could have found it. And if that is you, leave a comment so I know you found it. But I've never promoted YouTube or anything because I think I did one video like a year and a half ago or maybe 2 years ago. So this is going to soft launch on YouTube, and it's just going to be me kind of ranting about this, and it'll also be me editing it, I guess. But what I want to do is, I was watching, I was doing some research trying to figure out like what my business plan would be and like the structure of how I think it'll go. And for me, I think obviously like I'm at the top, admin type stuff, and then below me are like you have like your managers or whatever. But like how it's really going to break down to is like there's going to be, and for starting, we're going to start real small. You have like different cells, and your cell is like a group of your people, whatever. So like your cell is made up of your media buyer, which is the person creating content or buying content. So in this case, it would be like a photographer, videographer, which is stuff I know how to do. And in the beginning will be me because I have that skill set and I can save money doing it myself. And then usually like an editor. So especially for like, and that can be the same person, right? If you have your photographer, videographer that also knows how to edit videos. Most people, if you do one of those things, you usually know how to edit videos too. But sometimes it's like even for like my case, like I can edit videos, I know how. Photos I can edit all day, every day, that's no problem. Videos I know how to edit, like the basic understanding of a video. But I just know it's not like my strong suit, and I know that there's people out there that are better and faster at editing than I am. So like that is something I probably hired out pretty early, is a video editor. So that's one of the things I'm going to do this week is I've been looking through Twitter and random threads trying to find possible editors I can reach out to. And maybe this is the video that editor edits as like their trial run. I have no idea. But I want to find an editor. Either way, so back to the cell. You have your media buyer or content creator basically. That's when you're the photo video, an editor. So we're at 2 things. And then your third one's it was like your content manager basically. So how that would work, that's basically like your social media girl or whoever, the person that's actually putting the social media out, or depending, I guess it depends on your contract, I guess, because it could be the person that's putting the social media out for that client, or like if you're not running the social media for that client, if you were just doing content for them, saying like, all right, I shot XYZ videos for you, have them edited, and have XYZ photos for this client, and you ship off to the client, I guess that would be their job, is just to get the content, delivering the content to the client. And I think that's something maybe I would offer. If someone wants the content help, they probably already want the social help too, like just getting the stuff out there. So it would just make sense to have a client sign on for both, right? I guess, I mean, again, everyone's, situation is different, and you got to match the needs and be able to cater to those. But in my case scenario, I think I would want that person. And the other thing, the important thing is to notice, like, I can do all of those things, and I can have that be just me, and I would make more money that way, like just straight profit that way. But, the other thing is too, is like I do have that full-time job, and, I want to build this outside of that. And could this maybe someday take that over? Sure. I think it's very possible that it could, just because when you own your own business, if you scale it correctly, obviously, like the time you're investing into that compared to, what you may be putting in a full-time job. I mean, if you own your own business, that's 24/7, 365. There's no days off. Like, yeah, you take your vacations or whatever, but like, there's always stuff going on for your business. Like, it's all the time. But I just feel like your potential return in the long term is definitely higher on having your own business, just because you kind of set what your floor is. Like for me, so I'm trying to decide what positions would I want to hire out on. Freelance, I cannot afford to put someone on this full time, obviously. Just so I still have that my time to do whatever else I need. Whether that's my full-time job or it's still working on this stuff, but just it could just be like cold outreach, finding other clients to bring on into this, or maybe I'm actually out and about just shooting the videos or photos or whatever, just having that time, not sitting at a laptop editing videos, just because that can be tedious, and it's not like my most favorite thing in the world, but it's kind of fun. But yeah, so anyway, so I think video editing is something I would want to hire out right away, just because it helps save my own time so I can do the other needs of the business or take care of whatever else I want to take care of. So that's your cell group, right? And in that cell group, what you can do is say, all right, well, this cell of people can handle X, let's just say 10 clients, right? So then you scale up to 10 clients, you're raking in whatever amount of money. You're like, okay, they're at 10, I don't think they can handle any more. Then you put a new pod together or cell of people. And then you can say, all right, this, based off of how proficient these people are, they can handle this load of clients. And then you keep scaling into that. Now, the important thing is to remember for that setup is like, all right, what does it cost you to operate this cell of people or this pot of people a month? And that's obviously where you kind of have to figure out like what your price points are for everything, especially if you're hiring people out, how much does it cost to have that person on that project? For what I want to do, I want to get people on monthly retainers. And this is the other reason why I want to start a business like this, is because it's monthly income, reoccurring income, whereas like the stuff I do now is like, oh, like this game needs to get covered for this, the soccer game or this hockey game, whatever, it needs to get covered because you do it one time, it's a one-time thing. Like, and yeah, it's reoccurring, and like they need help, they need extra help sometimes, and that's what I'm there for. Or even like if you ran a family photo shoot, like it's reoccurring every year or whatever, but it's just more of one-off project type stuff. I want to try that monthly reoccurring income, just so I kind of know what's coming in every month. I'm living on my own now, just moving to my own apartment, or it's technically a townhouse, and rent went up, and I got a lot more costs now of living on my own. So I need to have more money coming in, more sustainable money coming in instead of like the one-off projects, just so I kind of know what I have coming in and out each month, if that makes sense. I can't believe I've been talking for 20 minutes. That is crazy. But I'm trying to think what else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, this will be a YouTube video. Might someday make it onto the the Instagram and Facebook and stuff, and the truth is I really wasn't going to start any of this stuff until the start of 2026, putting this out there. But I decided I wanted to get a head start on it, at least on YouTube, and just kind of feel out and start getting content out there. Because I think what I want to do is, fuck it. I will commit in 2026 on YouTube, maybe not switching over, but also doing this on Instagram once the year actually rolls around, to doing one long form video, long form meaning anything that's not a vertical reel or short a week, and then posting a daily reel or short on YouTube / Instagram, whatever, if I decide to pan it out onto that as well, because I would just be reposting the same content across those channels. But I'm committing to that now. You heard me say it, so I'm locked in. I don't have a choice. Something I gotta do, for myself and for my own brand, to get my own stuff out there, but then also just to show that the proof is in the pudding, and that this is stuff that I'm doing, and that the people I want to help can do it too. Anyway, I have the equipment and the ability to do this for clients too. And I saw this, I think it was a video, probably a couple months ago on Instagram, and it was like, you do all this hard work and put all this time in and effort in for your clients that you got, but what are you doing for yourself? I know that I have the ability and the knowledge to make this type of stuff for other people, but I need to do it for myself too. And that's really what this all comes down to. It's like, I know like where I'm at and what I can do, and I just need to do it for myself as well. Like even like this setup I have going right now, like this, I got my 50mm 1.4 lens on it now. Like this thing looks stunning, looks really good. And I've rarely used it for video stuff. I've used it for some stuff, like pregame stuff for volleyball a lot. But for like this talking head video, this looks banger. And my lighting setup's not super complex. I got one. It's a pretty big softbox. I'm not even gonna lie. Rather side rant time. I ordered a softbox on Amazon from, I think it was from Small Rig. It was like a 30-inch collapsible one. This one I have up here is a pain in the ass. This one's from Godox. It's massive. I don't even know how big it is. It's huge. I use it a lot for like photo studio stuff with a flash on it. It works really good for that. It just throws a ton of light out. Think like media day type stuff. It throws a ton of light, covers like the whole subject and like the backdrop that they're on. But yeah, I do use a second light for that too. But I didn't need to. I like having the second light just so there's a little bit more fill. This thing does great, but I had to use this for this video setup because this small rig one I ordered on Black Friday, it shows up, I open the box up, and it literally just has like the black backing part with like the reflector stuff in it, but it didn't have any diffusion material. It didn't have like the pamphlet it comes with, the guarantee card, the grid, the grid that funnels the light a little bit more, covers some of your spill. It didn't have that. It didn't have any. It's supposed to have 2 layers of diffusion. It literally just had like the back black part that like where you would hook on, that's where your light attaches to. It's all it had. So I have a new one coming. They hooked it up right away. They said, "Oh yeah, let's get you a new one. Just got to run out the post office and send the other one back or whatever." So it was not that big of a hassle or anything, but was a little disappointed. That one is way easier to set up than this one I have right now, because that one you literally just pull like the handle back, and it has like not bungee cord, but it has like some cords attached to it, and it just opens up real nice, and it's a lot easier to handle than this big one. Plus, for in this is a second bedroom I'm in. This is actually my work office when I work from home, and I don't need this huge, massive one in here. Yeah, it's nice that there was a light. Literally, look, it's covering this wall, and this wall here, and this you can see the softbox right here on the TV. But so a smaller one will be better for this little space. But I'm investing into the stuff that I want to do. Like I'm using, like on my camera right now, I have again. So I'm really investing into this. I'm not just like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm like, whatever. Like something I'm passionate about, something I really want to get done. I'm in 2026 and really just kind of revamp what I'm doing. All right, outro time. What do I say for an outro? I haven't really. I'm surprised at how I think and I'm gonna watch this back and be like, oh shit, I hate listening to myself speak. It's horrible. I didn't even look at the camera or whatever, but I think I'm doing a good job of looking at least in that little zone right there. But also, Peeps sweatshirt. You can pick this up on my website, sindelirmedia.com. Just go to the apparel tab, and there's a bunch of fun stuff in there. I also have this hat. Quick shout out, no free shout out. Let's get that little zoom in there. Yeah, this is in the lime green. It's just my logo, and it says like what I do on it. Stitching was it turned out okay. Like if you're walking around, no one's gonna see what it says. Pretty much, you have to like really look at it and see like, oh yeah. But this logo, the logo on my shirt and on the hat, people do recognize it now, which is kind of cool. Like I've seen people on campus wear it when I was just walking through for whatever during the day. So that's fun. I've had some random people order stuff. I'm amazed that I feel like I talked well too. Like I know I talk fast, but I feel like I got a lot of my ideas out, which is good too. That's the other thing too. Like this whole weekly. I don't even think I really want to do a vlog. I kind of just want to do a sit down talking head thing, but there's odds I could just have an Insta360 that I can mount in my car, and I might just do a little driving section. I just cut all of it together, with this type of stuff. Again, my name's Brady Sindelir at Sindelir Media. Looking to try to help any business in the Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Wisconsin region elevate their content. If as a business owner, I understand what it's like to wear all these hats. Especially if you're a very small company. You're literally doing everything: the fulfillment of your product or service, your marketing, your sales, your outreach, payroll if you have a lot of employees. You gotta figure out your insurance, taxes, accounting. There's so much stuff. There's so many different hats that you wear. It's a lot, and it's something that I'm still navigating as a business owner myself. But the hat that I wear a lot, and the one I know the best, is the content creation side of owning a business, and that's what I do, and that's what I'm passionate about, and that's what I want to help people do, is elevate that type of stuff, because your time is important too, right? I just named off 10 different hats that you also wear, and that stuff deserves your time as well. Whatever I can do to free up that time for you, that's what I'm trying to do, is so I can let you handle the other aspects of your life. So you don't have to worry about your content, what it looks like on social media, getting out on social media. I want to take care of that for you and be that solution for you. So if this happens to reach somebody that is interested, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM on Instagram. My number's on my website. Shoot me a text, call. Let's figure something out. Let's meet about it. even just talk, let's just talk about it. You want a free 15-minute call? Sure, call me. Let's set up a Google Meet. I just want to hear about your situation, what you think you need help with. I think that's one of the misconceptions too, is like people are like, well, I just don't even know what I would hire somebody for. It's just I don't even know what I need. Well, let's sit down and talk about what I think you need, what I think you should do, what I would do if I was operating your brand from a content standpoint. What type of content do I think would work for you? What is your goal with your content? Are you just trying to get brand awareness and get more people to be aware of who you are? Or are you actually trying to convert people into sales of your product or service? That's what I'm there to do, is to help you figure out those things. And, the last thing I'll say is just thanks for joining me on this journey. Some people are going to actually watch this video and stick around and see it through and see what actually happened. And, I'm excited to provide those updates for you just to see that growth too. Because that's the other thing too, is like, this is like my documentary, I guess, of, this business and growing it into something, I'm excited for the future and what this will bring. So, again, thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe, all the stuff. And, have a great day. We'll see you next time.